Meanwhile, Teal Monique Ryan is pushing for the voting age to be lowered after the UK government announced last week that 16-year-olds would be given the vote.
Yeah, it's an idea that will have enthusiastic support from the Greens, as you can imagine. Senator Jordan Steele-John tweeted, "Great to see the UK lowering the voting age to 16. The Greens reckon it's time for Australia to give 16 and 17-year-olds a right to vote." So, James, good idea or bad idea?
Look, I've got nothing against 16-year-olds. I've had a couple of 16-year-olds at one point, and I can tell you 16-year-olds are amazing at Minecraft. They're really good at TikTok videos. They're still trying to work out deodorant. So I'm not sure whether you want 16-year-olds making decisions on fiscal policy, foreign affairs, and what we should do about the energy grid. This is a really bad idea, and it's got nothing to do with expanding democracy, though, of course, they'll talk in those terms. It's all about harvesting votes because most 16-year-olds haven't paid any tax, haven't tried to buy a house, don't have a full-time job. And so this is all about getting their vote before their idealism is ruined by reality and they realise that voting progressive end up in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to the UK, nothing screams that you're a dud of a party, does it? Then you have to lower the voting age just to get votes. I actually thought it was quite interesting. The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the other day that because kids at that age can work legally, he said, don't you want to know what your money is spent on? You deserve the right to know. Now, I don't know about you, James, but when I was 16 and I was working at the $2 shop, on a very basic casual wage, I was blowing all my money on movies, lollies, junk food, fun, clothing, emphasis on fun more to the point, which brings me to the main point that 16-year-olds do not have the life experience, the understanding of issues in the country and knowledge of the political system. And why would they? Because they're trying to navigate their final exams, and probably some of the hardest things, and not for every teenager, of course, that they have to navigate is friendship groups and high school crushes, for goodness sakes.
Wouldn't it be a thing if the Australian Parliament voted on the one hand for 16-year-olds not to access social media because they're not old enough, but on the other hand to be able to vote at a federal election and have a say on foreign policy and budgetary concerns? That would be an irony.
I just think that this is just a way for left-wing governments to try and rig the system, to try and get a whole new generation of left-wing activists in the system. But last time, teenagers were given a say in things. Do you remember the climate protests where kids were skipping school to protest for climate because, Greta Thunberg said, "How dare you?" And
imagine a million Greta Thunbergs voting in an election.
God, absolute nightmare. Seriously, that is an absolute nightmare.
But here's the thing, right? A 16-year-old in this country has to get written permission to get a tattoo. So mum and dad have to give you permission to get a tattoo. But we've got supposedly serious politicians saying these same kids should be able to vote. It really is a cynical ploy to try and get more votes.
Monique Ryan wants it, though. The doctor wants it. She wants the votes over the line.